Hey, Fortress friends. I am going to read to you today from one of my favorite books that I've ever had. And I found out about this book when I was in the 6th grade. And I remember thinking, how did I never think I liked poetry before now? But this book, which is all poetry, was so funny and so fun. And it has awesome pictures in it. And it made me want to be a poet. And I bet you didn't know that about me, did you? I love to write poems. And it all started because of this book called Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. In fact, this is my copy, and it's really old. It's so old that in places you can tell where it's starting to fall apart. But I bought this book for myself when I was still a teenager because I wanted to own it because I remembered loving it so much when I was in 5th and 6th grade. So in fact, if you've ever been in my office, and most of you guys have, you've seen behind my desk, I have a shelf of all my favorite books. And I have 6 books by that author. But the one I'm reading from today is Where the Sidewalk Ends. So I'm going to start with one of the first poems in the book called The Acrobats. So take a good look at that picture. There's a dude hanging from the rope swing, and then a girl hanging from his legs, and then with her toes she's holding another swing, and another guy's hanging from that swing with his feet. So it's just a pretty silly picture. And here's the poem. I'll swing by my ankles, she'll cling to your knees as you hang by your nose from a high up trapeze. But just one thing, please, as we float through the breeze, don't sneeze. Why? Why is that funny? What would happen if the top dude sneezed? It would all go boom. Okay, see if you can figure out this one. Why it's hilarious. It's called Smart. My dad gave me $1 bill because I'm his smartest son, and I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters because 2 is more than 1. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he don't know that 3 is more than 2. Just then along came old blind Bates, and just because he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes, and 4 is more than 3. And I took the nickels to Hiram Combs down at the seed feed store, and that fool gave me 5 pennies for 'em. And 5 is more than 4. And then I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. So, figure that out. He started with $1 bill, and he ended with 5 pennies, and he thought he had done the smart thing. Was it smart? No. Okay, this was my favorite one, and you'll soon find out why. Although you might not agree, because you might actually be missing school since we've been out for the COVID pandemic for so long. But when I was in the 6th grade, I loved this poem. It's called Sick. There's a little girl in her bed. She's about to tell her mom all the reasons that she can't go to school today. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. Ah, there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue, it might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched. My ankle sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold. My toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff. My voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent. My spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk. I cannot hear. There's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is... What? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play. What a silly girl. Okay, what is my next favorite poem in this book? Oh, who of you like unicorns? I know most of the girls love unicorns that go to Fortress. So, this is the poet's idea of what might have happened to unicorns. You ready? A long time ago when the earth was green and there were more kinds of animals than you've ever seen, and they run around free while the world was being born, and the loveliest of all was the unicorn. There were green alligators and long-necked geese. There was humpy-bumpy camels and chimpanzees. There was cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. But the Lord seen some sinning, and it caused him pain. He said, "Stand back, I'm going to make it rain." He said, "Brother Noah, I'll tell you what you do. Go and build me a floating zoo. And you take 2 alligators and a couple of geese, 2 humpy-bumpy camels and 2 chimpanzees. Take 2 cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, Noah, don't you forget that unicorn." Now Noah was there, and he answered the calling, and he finished up the ark just as the rain started falling. He marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called them out as they went through. "Hey, Lord, I got your 2 alligators and your couple of geese, your humpy-bumpy camels and your 2 chimpanzees. Got your cats and rats and elephants, but Lord, I'm so forlorn 'cause I just can't find a unicorn." Old Noah looked out through the driving rain, but the unicorns were hiding, playing silly games. They were kicking and splashing in the misty morn. Them silly unicorn. Then the goat started goatin', and the snake started snaking, the elephant started elephantin', and the boat started shaking. The mouse started squeaking, and the lion started roaring, and everybody's aboard but the unicorn. I mean, the green alligators and the long-necked geese, and the humpy-bumpy camels and the chimpanzees. Noah cried, "Close the door, 'cause the rain is pouring. We just can't wait no more for the unicorn." Then the ark started moving, and it drifted with the tide, and the unicorns looked up from the rock and cried. And the water come up and sort of floated them away. That's why you've never seen a unicorn to this day. You'll see a lot of alligators and a whole mess of geese. You see humpy-bumpy camels and a lot of chimpanzees. You'll see cats and rats and elephants, but as sure as you're born, you ain't never gonna see no unicorn. Okay, one more. So this one has 2 words in it that you might not know what they mean. The word sultan, it says rich as a sultan, and a sultan is a leader, like a king, a ruler. So lots of riches and lots of wealth, really rich. And then it says poor as a mite. And a mite, what it means in this sentence is a young child, like a little bitty kid, especially one that deserves to have sympathy, like, you know, that poor little kid, he just doesn't feel good today. A mite, okay? So it's called no difference. And I'm going to let you read along with me on this one, if I can read it. Small as a peanut, big as a giant, we're all the same size when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we're all worth the same when we turn out the light. Red, black, or orange, yellow, or white, we all look the same when we turn off the light. So maybe the way to make everything right is for God to just reach out and turn out the light. I love that. Isn't it true? We're all the same. We all have the same hearts. We all have the same minds. We all have the same way we love people. We all have the same way we dream and have wishes and work hard, and we're all the same. And God sees us all the same, and we are learning to see each other all the same. And I love that. With the lights out, we're all the same size. We're all worth the same. We all look the same in God's eyes. And so I hope you guys liked those silly poems. I'm looking to see if there's any more I want to share with you today. I'm going to send you copies. In your packet you get today, you'll have copies of these poems, and I might add a few more. There are so many funny poems in this book. So if you always thought poems were boring and you didn't like poetry, I hope maybe this changed your mind a little bit. And if you want to have more, have your parents text Mr. Chris and tell him you want more of Shel Silverstein's poems. Otherwise, next week I'm going to read you an actual story. I miss you guys. Can't wait to see you back at Fortress. Bye.